Good morning, everybody. On behalf of Indian Concrete Institute, Bangalore Center, I welcome all the delegates, panelists, and the moderator. Today we have a session COVID, the construction industry post COVID-19 issues and challenges. I welcome Engineer Madhukar BA. He is the curator of the program. He is the managing director, Potential Project Managers Private Limited, Bangalore. I welcome Mr. Madhukar sir.
Thank you.
And we have, good morning. We have Engineer Raj Pillai, Managing Director, Mrs. Starworth Infrastructure and Construction Private Limited, Bangalore. I welcome you, sir, Mr. Raj Pillai. And we have Engineer Shashidhar, Managing Director of Seacon Engineers Private Limited. I welcome you for this program. And I request Mr. Madhukar to take over and start the session.
Good morning to one and all.
Good morning, everybody. It's my privilege today to be representing ICI as a moderator of this program. This is a webinar series initiated by ICI to bring in awareness about the challenges, the issues, and how the industry leaders are coping up with these enormous challenge that is put upon us at the stroke just like that. So we have been attempting to reach out to a lot of industry leaders and choosing people to come and share their views on what they are doing to their organizations at personal level, at family level, at society level, what are they doing and how they are facing these challenges, and then share their views on to the viewers on what makes this different and what makes the solution also different. So this way, it is expected that it will. I mean, I'm really hoping that this will help the audience to understand the issue, start behaving in a rational way, and take steps to mitigate, if not, overcome these challenges. These are here to stay for some time, and so it's my privilege today to be representing ICI. As you know, the video was going on. You must have noticed that ICI has been here for the last 30 years, doing immense service to the industry, whether it is students or practicing professionals, engineers, site engineers, business leaders. ICI has been at the forefront of promoting concrete industry in India. So without much ado, I start today's program. Today we have a very distinguished panelist with us. I'm privileged to be given this opportunity to talk to them and ask them about how they are coping. My question to start with would be to Mr. Shashidhar, who's a very successful entrepreneur. He's been an engineer. He worked with several companies, and he started a company called Seacon way back about 25 years ago. So he has been literally, seen the growth as a first-generation entrepreneur. He is one of the top contracting companies in Bangalore today, insofar as building industry is concerned. And Shashidhar sir, you've been in this line for a long time. I want to start off by asking you, what was your first reaction on this COVID-19, and what would you like to share viewers on the challenges in the last 1 month? What did you do, and how are you planning to manage in the next couple of months? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madhukar. This 1 month is a first sort of experience to all of us in this industry. Since we had lot of migrant labor in our camps, up to nearly 1,500, taking care of them was the biggest task in this last 1 month, and maintaining hygiene and health of these laborers was a big task for our HR and security personnel and our safety personnel. But day one, we could get passes from the police for our key people, and we have been managing these 1,500 laborers till today. And luckily, since the beginning of this week, some of our sites outside the urban area have also started in a small way. Say about 30% of our laborers are engaged as on today in half of our sites. We run about 15 to 17 sites. In that 50% of the sites, we are operating with half of these people. But as you look forward, the major impact of COVID will be known as the days go by on the markets, on the labor, where it will end up. It is that fear is always there. We are yet to foresee these things.
Okay. What about the immediate steps, the next 1 month, 15 days? What is your rollback? How we are going to roll back to the sites?
First, to follow the SOP guidelines given by the government strictly. So this has an impact on the progress and on the cost. But we have no escape from this, and we are strictly following, because any COVID attack in a camp of ours will be severely detrimental, and we will not be able to handle it. And it is a biggest fear what I am living with for the last 1 month and in future also, till the vaccine comes out. So we are strictly following this, and we are using people alternate days, sometimes once in 3 days, so that minimum people, minimum work, whatever is the progress. It's the question of not profit and loss, just to slowly get back into the working mode with all the safety precautions. Biggest fear of COVID not attacking our people. That is the main concern. With that in view, we are taking all precautions and we are stepping very slowly.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your views. Again, for one of the audience, again, one more reminder to all the audience. Today's program is going to be mainly the questions will be picked from the audience, and you are strongly encouraged to all ask your questions. There is no hard set of questions that we are ready with and we want to answer. It's about you, the viewers. It's about you, the audience. So please feel free to ask the questions to any of the panelists, and they would be here in order to answer to their best of abilities. So please do not hesitate. Keep asking questions. One small request: don't make too long questions. Don't add 4 or 5 questions together. Keep your questions short and brief and to the point. And the panelists also, where the question demands substantive answer or in-depth answer, they are prepared to do that, and they'll do. And to the extent possible, they are also going to be brief, so that they will accommodate as many questions as possible. With this small request, I request all the audience to start pulling in their questions and sending their questions to all of us, so that we can curate and then moderate the show. Moving forward, I think my next question is to Mr. Raj Pillai, who heads Starworth today, the property developer of repute. Sir, my question to you is: you've had a very interesting career. I noticed, your career graph. You were working for a company, then you were a pioneer in bringing ready-mix concrete to India. Then you started your own company as an entrepreneur. You are involved in precast. Now you're doing millions of square feet of precast construction, and very challenging tasks. I've always seen you as attempting something that not many people have attempted. This is my view of you. I've been seeing you for quite some time, and that's my view. Tell me, sir, what is the thing that is going to pan out in your opinion? You are committed to deliver millions of square feet to your public, and as a company, at your personal level, as an entrepreneur, how do you see this happening? What would happen in the next near 3 months, 6 months? Raj sir. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning to all. Good morning to all.
Sir, you heard my question, sir.
Yes, sir. I heard, sir. I heard, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
First and foremost, thank you, Mr. Madhukar, for those kind words. And good morning to, I can see 171 participants as on now. And I hope all of you are safe, sound, and God's grace, your near and dear ones are also safe and sound. Well, this is a unique situation, as Shashidhar sir was saying. And I think, and I wish, and I pray that this unique situation does not come again. But, you know, they always say when the necessity is the mother of invention. So I think these are the situations when they bring out the best in us. Now, I have been a firm believer. Probably I was fortunate in my career at a very early stage that I was able to work under, get mentored some of the star worlds in the industry in India and abroad. And what I learned from all these people all along my career is that as a civil engineer, you know, I mean, I assume that most of the participants who are listening to us, and courtesy ICI, before I continue, that Dr. Manjunath took this initiative and we all are talking to each other in these difficult times. So I think as engineers, I have always believed that we should always benchmark ourselves with the global practices. And when I say global practices, what I mean is the civil engineering is a very diversified field. You may be into typical hardcore construction, you may be into project management, you may be into design aspect of it, you may be into the building material. But somehow I was fortunate that from the very early stage of my career, these great people with whom I worked, they imbibed in me that whatever you do, is this how the world does it? And when you start benchmarking yourself, then you realize that there is no situation, there is no challenge which a civil engineer cannot mitigate. I mean, come to think of it, we just go to a barren land, barren piece of place, and we convert into anything and everything which you can imagine. So I think God has empowered us with this creativity, but the creativity should be benchmarked against the global practices. Now, why I'm saying this, I believe that, like, you know, they say when you do the SWOT analysis, the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. In every crisis, there is an opportunity. I strongly believe, and this is my first, I will give you a holistic view, and then I'll come down. You know, my bigger picture is that globally, it's India which needs all the best constructions in the world. We need large number of quality houses. We need large number of airports. We need large kilometers of highways. All that is needed. And fortunately, for the last few years, there is a political willingness to do it. So there is a demand. See, every industry works on demand and supply. So I think the only country in the world which can provide demand is India. So there is a demand. There is financial muscle in this country. The regulations are changing. So I am of the confirmed view that the major construction in this world in the next 20 years or 30 years is going to happen in India. To give you an example, it could be something like what was happening in the Middle East 30 years back. So I think we are getting into that momentum.
Okay.
And because,
okay.
But to now I give a caveat to that. My caveat is, when that construction happens, are we ready as engineers or organizations? Are we adopting the best of the technology? Are we doing how the world does it? So if the answer to that is yes, then you have a great fortune in this country. And I think this is going to get converted into a great opportunity. Yes, having said that, in the short term, there will be a lot of issues, a lot of pain. As Mr. Shashidhar sir was saying, all of us in the construction industry, we have an issue with managing our labor force, people, health, welfare, environment. So all those pain will be there. But like, in our Shastras, this is a Samudra Manthan, Amrit and Vish both will come out. Those who are ready will get the Amrit, those who are not. Well, that's all, sir. I think I took a little longer for the introduction.
No issue, sir. I think it was well needed, and it is really thought-provoking and very motivating for me also as an engineer. The kind of range of possibilities that come out with us because of the creativity that is involved. We convert barren land into something, amazing structures come out of it. I was seeing the other day a picture of Dubai that was in 1970s, where the Sheikh Zayed Road was an empty stretch of land, and today it is full of skyscrapers. You reminded me of that photo, sir. I think only civil engineers, we can be proud that we take pride in this, that we convert some dreams into reality and we be part of those landscapes. I think coming back to the questions today, we have got questions pouring in. I think one of the first few questions are to Mr. Shashidhar. Obviously, there's a lot of interest in people. When Mr. Anand Tirtha, Mr. Anil Kumar, and Vinod Nakra, Mr. Vinod Nakra, they've all asked Mr. Shashidhar a question, something like this. 2-3 questions I'm combining. One is, how are you managing to retain your workers, laborers, number one? And related to that is another one is, how are you going to planning to, are you going to reduce this number of tasks that you're going to do at a time? How are you managing that? That is a second question. Both are related. How are you retaining your workforce? And second one, are you reducing the number of tasks that you're going to handle? Thank you, sir.
Shashidhar sir, please unmute before you talk.
So you can unmute, sir.
Sir, we can't hear you, sir. Sir, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, sir.
Just a minute, sir.
Yeah.
Repeat.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Right now, the labor, holding on to the labor is not much a fear till such a time the transport facilities open up, like the railways, buses, interstate. But what we have got information through many of our subcontractors who are groups of labor they bring from Bihar, Orissa and all these people. They are telling people are really planning to go back once there is a transport facility. There is so much pressure from their near and dear ones, from their villages. So how to hold them back is a real challenge. But we feel there will be a reduction of 30 to 40% of the available labor force once they lift the ban on railways. But however, at the same time, we have hopes people who are already in their native will come back to work because they do have to survive, they have to manage their families. So once the railways open, there will be both side movement. People going back to villages and people coming back to work. So both can happen. That is with regard to managing the labor. Next, are you doing the work in separate areas or how it is? There was a question. Yes, we are, since if the site permits, we will distribute the workers so that the social distancing is maintained. In whichever sites where we cannot put all the labor at the same time, even keeping them apart, there we will reduce the labor coming each day. In turns, we take them 30% today, 30% second day, the last 30% on the third day. In rotation, they are given work. But at the same time, we are maintaining our labor by giving the ration and other things. Like Akshaya Patre came out with a very good scheme. It's one box, 750 rupees, which will suffice for one person for 21 days. It has everything in that. So we had to buy those boxes and distribute. Even our clients have supported, and even some local authorities have supported, and even some of our engineers and staff also have taken care. So everybody has come out as a team for giving food for these people. So this was a very heart-touching scene. Thereby, we could manage these 1,500 people in the last 4 to 5 weeks.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think a couple of questions connected with that. And how are you managing transport of these workers, Shashidhar sir? One, Mr. Jyotindra Kishore has asked, and similarly, people are also asking on guidelines, any guidelines that you would like to give on the transport of workers to your site?
Right now, 80% of our sites, that is among 17, 12 or 13 sites, we have a dedicated camp close by.
Okay.
And most cases, the workers walk down to the site.
Okay.
In some cases, we have our own bus, hired buses, which will operate at 50% capacity. But for this, we have to take a permission from the local DCP.
Okay.
And all our staff and engineers, we have obtained passes from the DCP the moment the construction was lifted. We had to give a letter to them to engage our labor. These staff and engineers have to go to this site and across Bangalore. So we require passes for them. So they are given passes valid up to 3rd of May, which will automatically get extended. That's what they tell us. So on application, on the size of your company, how many sites, they check us. Why do you require so many pass? We have to convince them, and then they issue us. So it has not been a problem for us. And as of now, almost 80% of the staff have reported at sites.
Okay.
And this way we are able to transport the labor and manage this site.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. I think key to that is I think you need to have a reduced number of people traveling in buses and whatever modes of transport. That means you will not be able to transport as many people as you used to do. You cannot be doing crowding, so you need to plan for that. I understand that. Thank you very much, sir. And I'm very happy to see Dr. Aswath coming in. He had some challenges on logging in and on the connectivity. I think, sir, I'm happy to see you. I want you to share your few thoughts on today's program. Aswath sir.
Aswath sir is yet to get connected on the audio.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Then there are some, because I see a lot of questions from youngsters asking about internship, student mentoring, fresh jobs, etc. I will reserve it for Dr. Aswath. In the meantime, there are some 4 or 5 questions on. See, one, Mr. Ranjan has asked a question, and connected to that, another question is on China being the major supplier of raw materials for the admixture industry and prices, impact of material prices. I want Mr. Raj Pillai to share his views on how he is going to deal with this situation. You know, knowing that our industry depends a lot on products from China, whether it is pre-finished or finished products to admixtures, raw materials, chemicals, etc. How do you deal with it, and do you foresee an impact of increased price in these things?
Sir, I would put it this way. I would take a little detour and then come to this question. I think construction industry must understand that the way forward is going to be only and only productivity. I am a big fan of Building Construction Authority of Singapore, BCA, and I would request all the people who are there to go to the BCA website and see how exhaustive it is and how informative it is. And I have some good friends in BCA, and the last I heard from them when I met them is that they are focusing a lot on productivity, because the days are gone When you have 5,000 people on site or 1,000 people on site, and how many masons, how many carpenters, how many barbenders, I think it's all about productivity. I will give you one simple example. We have around 10 sites in Bangalore, and out of them 10 sites, one of our major site, which is Provident Park Square, where we are doing 2.2 million square feet of precast, it is done with precast. At that site, every morning, I just have to monitor only one parameter on my dashboard in the mobile, that how many elements have been erected the previous day. And that gives me an idea how many square feet of construction has happened. I don't have to worry like other sites that how many masons, how many carpenters, how much concrete has been done, how much steel has been prepared. So the first point I'm making is we have to move towards monitoring, measuring, and enforcing productivity. Now, when I talk about productivity, then comes your usage of material, your optimization of material, because that is another field which I think we civil engineers have to work very, very extensively, because all the materials, take my words, all the materials are going to be expensive way forward. Very simple. I mean, it doesn't require rocket science. Transportation industry, which has not been working for the last 1.5 months, they have to recover their losses. Companies which are into production of materials, they have not worked, they have to recover their losses. And all that will only happen with increase in prices. So the prices are going to increase, whether the material coming from China or material coming from, any of the cement factories or steel companies or GSBs or the sand, it's all going to increase. It's obvious. And there will be supply and demand issue as well. So the challenge which we are going to use, it is like, one simple question I ask in every conference I attend, especially to the senior people, that which is the most prominent grade of concrete you use? Trust me, many won't know. Then I ask the next question, how much is the cement content there? Trust me, many would not know. Then I ask the next question, why so many kgs? Have you tried bringing it down? Trust me, only few will know. I think we have to bring that. And then the wastage. One of the things which is we have lived with, that since it is in abundance, we can waste. So I think all this discipline has to be brought in, because now it's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging. And as I said, if we start measuring productivity, I think then only we will move forward. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's a very valid point. Like you, I've been a great fan of BCA. I've been a beneficiary of BCA. In fact, I was there in Singapore for 12 years. I have seen it evolve from what it used to be called a CIDB earlier, Construction Industry Development Board, where the quality improvement tools were introduced and ISO 9000 standardization came in, and Productivity Council of Singapore was involved. BCA, in fact, Mr. Jaipal is a very close friend of mine. Knowing him for the last 20 years. It's a wonderful institution. I do agree with you. People who want to know something about quality, something about construction productivity, mechanization, please look up on the BCA website, Singapore Building Construction Authority. I think it's a great point that you made, sir. And secondly, you made another valid point that in the short and medium term, there may possibly be an increase in prices of essential commodities. I really don't know how the industry is going to deal with it. You as a developer or Mr. Shashidhar as a contractor and holds a lot, there's a lot of other people, how they are going to handle it. On the other side of it, on the supply side, you talked about, but on the demand side, there is a considerable drop in demand. How would that play out? Because as you rightly said, supply and demand are always in tango, and if one goes up, the other one will come down. So, so how is it going to? So it's a debate, the jury is out, and let's hope that it will not cause too much disruption in the industry. I think going forward, I think a couple of other questions that are being asked is on mechanization. It's something that Mr. Raj Pillai is also very passionate about. He's been at the forefront of precast industry in India. Do you see precast being used, mechanization being used in the industry? That's one question. Second question, use of apps, all kinds of apps used in the industry by either your company or Mr. Shashidar's company going forward. For the benefit of audience, I'm holding on a lot of questions related to students, a lot of questions related to youngsters, a lot of questions related to training of students, because our expert faculty today, the panelist Dr. Aswath is also struggling to get on board because of connectivity issues. The moment he comes on board, believe me, that will be my first priority. Please give me an opportunity. Okay, right? Raj sir and Shashidhar sir, how you think mechanization and apps are going to play out in the new post-COVID?
Sir, Mr.
Should I
Aswath is
begin,
on
sir?
audio.
Okay, let them finish and let them
Okay,
finish
sir,
this
so
question. Then I will.
Yeah, sir, I will put it this way. I remember way back in the mid 90s, when I was fortunate enough to propagate the ready-mix concrete industry in India, and the first commercial government registered ready-mix plant was established in Bangalore. It was somewhere in 95, around that time. And I remember whenever I used to talk to people that would you buy ready-mix concrete, and people used to say, especially the end user, that I have got 500 laborers. Their father used to work with my father, grandfather used to work with my grandfather. So if I buy concrete from you, what will I do with these people? And there was a lot of resistance to ready-mix industry at that point of time till early 2000s. And today, the ready-mix industry has become a commodity. I think there could be, I'm not aware, but I think there could be, hundreds and thousands of lakhs of ready-mix plants across the country. So my view on this is, sir, that mechanization is not a choice anymore. Mechanization is a compulsion. And I strongly believe that it's a matter of time when the construction industry has to move forward to industrialized construction. That means from on-site, you have to move to off-site. And it's only a matter of time that when you will realize that by doing that, you save on time, you save on, you get good quality, you save on cost, and the most important thing, we are definitely going to have a shortage of labor force in the short term and the midterm. That's bound to happen. Why it is bound to happen is that for the labor force, a person who has come from West Bengal, Orissa, or Bihar, it doesn't matter whether he works in Bombay or he works in Chennai or he works in Bangalore. And once they go back, because they are all worried, they have to meet their kith and kin. So once they go back, it is not necessary that they will come back to us. So there is definitely good. And it's a fact that before COVID also, getting skilled manpower was an issue, getting carpenters, masons. So mechanization is the only way, sir. My request, and this I have been propagating, that early we understand, better it is, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mechanization is the way to go forward. Mr. Shashidhar, what is your take on that?
I 100% I agree with Mr. Raj Pillai. Mechanization is the only way to keep this industry going, because as we have seen in the last 5 years, every time our labor force keeps diminishing. That is, the skill is not being transferred, or there is no further generations who are becoming workers for the construction industry. As we have seen, Tamil Nadu, it is zero today, Andhra zero. Only we are getting it from few states in the upper north and northeast. So gradually there also it is reducing, and people are getting educated, and more and people are going into white collar jobs. If I don't change the design of the building and make it a mechanized type of a construction, there is no way we can build. There will be no program that we can do to achieve our targets, because big question mark will be the labor all the time. As he was telling, one is precast, second is pre-engineered buildings with steel. These two can work well, and off-site, major of it is done. It is just erected at site, or maybe only the foundation work is done at site. The rest will be just erected, and only pumpable concrete, as he was telling, for the slabs, some precast panels for the walls, ready-made toilets. Only this will be working in future. Down the line, we may continue with conventional construction, maybe for the next 4 or 5 years. But as he said, reduction in labor force, increase in their cost, increase in material cost, all this is going to happen. But till the end of this year, 2020, we'll have all these problems. But 21, we feel that there will be a big boom in construction, as he was telling, wherein we can recover the losses or the hardships what we have suffered in 20, now what we are going to suffer in 20.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think you're quite bullish
Sir,
about the coming year.
I'm not in the panel.
Yeah.
Would like to answer Rajpillai sir, how many RMC plants are there? I also work very closely with the RMC industry. Karnataka itself, there are more than 500 RMC plants. They are producing 1.5 million cubic meter of concrete every month. Okay. So I got the statistics. All over India, there are more than 5,000 RMC plants producing more than 5 to 6 million cubic meter of concrete. That is the production we have. Closely, on an annual basis, we are producing about 80 million cubic meter of concrete, ready-mix concrete.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for that wonderful insight. I'm very happy, extremely delighted to have Dr. Aswath with us today. He overcame the challenges of connectivity, and he's here. Sir, it's my salute to you today morning. He's been a wonderful friend and also colleague at ICI, ACC, Instruct, and so many other things. And he is the principal of Bangalore Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Besides established leader in construction industry, he also has spent a lot of time mentoring students and placement services. He's done about more than 35,000 placements in while he was serving the college, and he is currently the principal. I'm waiting to talk to you, sir. Welcome and good morning, and can you please share your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Sorry, there were some connectivity issues. But if you look at the online presence of all the professionals, not only construction industry, education industry, but every industry is talking about the impact of COVID-19. But according to me, we don't have to worry too much about the issues, because this is a global crisis and not connected to only civil engineers and the students or education industry. Since it is a global issue and nobody has expected this. So we need to take this in a very good spirit and put together. All of us should see how to analyze this issue and how to come out of this once the lockdown is cleared. But even if the lockdown is cleared, there are a lot of analysis, statistics, report says that at least we have to be careful in the next 2 years. So keeping this in mind, it is mainly affecting the construction industry, because social distancing is the major concern with our construction industry. But as far as the student community is concerned, I was just going through the various universities, what their plans are. But we are also worried that our university, Vishesha Technological University, about the 8th semester students. They are about to release, and what will happen to their higher education, what will happen to their job scenario. Many of the companies who have already recruited students, they also don't know what to do. And some companies have already expressed their jobs will be retained and their offers will be valid. But when they will join the company, that is nobody is telling us. So keeping that in mind, especially civil engineering students, if you talk about, normally civil engineering students, campus placements are very less. Only after they complete their engineering, the students used to get the opportunities, and for that they used to spend normally 6 to 8 months understanding the construction industry, because unlike IT, the recruitments will not happen in civil engineering while in the campus. Majority of the students, except few civil engineers who go for IT recruitment. But if you look at that and analyze what the students used to do earlier before this crisis, they used to learn and understand the industry, join some small-time contractor or a consultant and understand the industry. And it is kind of an internship or a training for the students. So if you look in that angle, this COVID-19 may not affect the engineering students of civil. They will be learning, and the professional associations, as you mentioned, like Association of Consulting Civil Engineers, Indian Concrete Institute, Instead, there are many associations. I think we have a role to play at this moment. We need to give that kind of a training what earlier the students used to go to different organizations. But the practical exposure on site may be difficult, but we can always plan out something for the student community, the fresh engineering students, to give them some kind of a mentoring system, so that they'll learn, and by the time this COVID-19 issue is sorted out, they'll be ready to take on with the industry. I think that is the best thing the students can do. But the other view is now the lot of experts giving a suggestion that this is the time the student community should look at the entrepreneurship instead of just looking for a job. So entrepreneurship as such in civil engineering, the startup culture or starting small organizations other than the construction supported activities is very less. In fact, we have tried earlier also giving some exposure to the student communities and freshers to think in the direction of the startups. So that may be an ideal thing for the civil engineering freshers to look at how to support the construction industry in a smaller scale, like initiating some startup initiatives to support, either it is in the material supply chain, or it is in the design and the consulting services, or in the managing the projects. A lot of things are coming up these days. So those things can be concentrated by the student community and the fresh civil engineers who don't have a right now job. I think that will be the ideal thing to do. As many other industries are also trying to get into the digital mode. I think civil engineers have not explored many options available in that direction. As Rajpillai and Shashidhar was also mentioning, mechanization is the future in the construction industry, and for that there are a lot of supporting services required using the digital tools. So those things can be explored by the fresh engineers, those who don't have a job, 1 or 2 years passed out graduates, and how they can learn those skills and get ready with those skills and support the construction industry by the time this crisis is over.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think it answered quite a number of questions. One, Mr. Purushottama, Uday, Mr. Uday Somgond, Mr. Suhas, there was similar question by Mr. Pritesh Singh and Mr. Ashikur Rahman, who were all worried. They all sent questions. They were all worried that this COVID-19 would throw them out of jobs or would not give them entry into the industry. These are students. They are telling me that they are students and they are trying to look for internships or job opportunities. Doctor, your take on how colleges should help or chip in internship programs or facilitating these with the industry. Can you tell us, sir? You've been a veteran of placements. You've done more than 35,000 placements.
As with the education system, not only our university, the entire country, including the AICTE and MHRD, they're all working on this, and already it is implemented. Like medical profession, the internship is made mandatory, but because of this crisis, on-job internships may be difficult for quite some time, at least another 2-3 months. It will be difficult to go into the site and do it. But in that time, the MHRD has come out with a lot of initiatives. AICTE has come out with a lot of initiatives, and it is very positive to note that many of the companies are coming forward to give the skills required for the students at free of cost. Earlier, it was very difficult to get into these skills training, but now almost all companies are giving their skill development trainings free of cost. There are a lot of MHRD initiatives and ASIT initiatives. Apart from that, the private organizations also, they're giving all the way their resources free for the next 6 months. In fact, the National Digital Library has given all their resources free. Similarly, the VTO consortium of many journals and other things, they're available free for anybody, not only students, to all the professionals also. I think this time we can make good use of all these resources available and identifying our interest and the line of career we are looking forward. Maybe we can get in the next 6 months some skill development and training in this direction, so that we'll be ready to go on with the job from the day one once the construction industry opens up. And as professionals, we have a lot to play, because we are also considerably free now, and we can engage the student community with mentoring them one-to-one. Or maybe we can connect. We have already seen that a lot of webinars coming up. In fact, it is overlapping many of the professional bodies. Maybe we can come up with a kind of scheduled structure and open it to the students and all the professionals, so that we can learn a lot of things during this period. And I'm very sure this is only a temporary phase. Nothing will happen to the construction industry. As many of you are also mentioning, there will be a lot of boom once this crisis is over, because infrastructure is required for every other industry. I was looking at some other industries affected in this direction in the last 2 days. Mainly about 20-25 industries are badly hit, but among that, construction industry is not so much hit like any other industry. We are after 15 or so. So that is one good news. Only thing is the ongoing projects. What will happen to the ongoing projects? What will happen to the future projects? The adjustments of the contractual procedures, those things needs to be worked out. And I'm sure I will come back with a bang. And to be on the lighter note, I would like to mention now the economy all of us are talking about. It will go back 30 years back. But now, if you look at very seriously, people are spending only for what they want. And if they spend only for what they want, and if they are able to get it, so what economy that we are talking about? I'm not talking about the GDP issues and all those things. Apart from that international scenario, but people can survive with all these issues, and the only concern is we should come back to the normalcy, and that normalcy is, what is that level of normalcy? That's what we are thinking about, whether it is the same old status of construction industry earlier, or a new normalcy we need to create depending on the requirement and demand. So that's what we have to think. Constructing 10 apartments vacant in the city, a particular place, or develop whatever is required for that area. Is that what is we are looking at? So I think we need to rethink about the projects also. There will be definitely, some projects will be suspended, some projects will be postponed for some time. All these issues are there, but all of us should be very positive, and nothing will happen, because as our Prime Minister says, John, I told John, something like that. If we leave, then everything will happen. And I'm sure the student community, there will be nothing will happen to the student community. I can assure you. The whole country, all the apex bodies connected to education system are keenly observing the status. Maybe there will be a pause for about 6 months. If you lose 6 months, nothing will happen in a lifespan time. And that 6 months or 8 months we need to spend effectively to learn the new skills required to handle the construction industry once it comes back. That's my view.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is wonderful words coming from somebody who is a member of the Senate, who obviously knows what is going on in the teaching fraternity, who is obviously very much in sync with the industry as well as the academia. Now, I think we are getting a lot of not only questions from the audience, there have been several suggestions, which is in a lot of sync with what Shashidhar sir and Raj Pillai sir has said. Mr. Lab Singh is also said that he is agreeing with us on production, increasing productivity, mechanization. In fact, Mr. Nagendra Kumar also is here online. Engineer Nagendra Kumar says one of the spin-off this would be using cut and bend reinforcement rather than on-site manufacturing. And there is also some interesting questions to contracting and property development fraternity. One such question is, you are talking about reskilling or upskilling, and you're also talking about mechanization, productivity, and all that. Shashidhar sir, this question is to you. How are you going to address the investments that are required to address these things? In one of the questions that is being asked, how you deal with the investments that are required to deal with this.
That is to switch over to mechanization, the investments.
Correct, investments or fresh investments, or how you are going to deal with that, sir.
As such, just before COVID, actually in my case I am telling, but it may not be general to all the people.
Yeah.
Before COVID, about 3-4 months back, we have put up a pre-engineering factory at Haroldly. Since we were into fabrication from a long time, we were doing conventional fabrication for in-house consumption for our various projects. But since we have been doing fabrication for last 10-15 years, we have just put up a pre-engineered building factory at Haroldly. So with that, we want to move on with steel structures, that is the mechanized construction. But this has been done with our own accruals in the company by whatever we had earned by working all these years. We have invested on this, and we hope we will get a lot of business on this as I said, 21 onwards. Maybe not in 20, as Mr. Aswath and Mr. Pillai were telling. 20, we will have lot of ifs and buts. Like projects being stalled, projects being slowed down, and people asking us what further rebate you can do if you can continue with this project. All such things will come up. But 20 will be hard, but 21 we have to look up.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Raj Pillai, what is your take? Where is investment going to come from? If the industry, obviously you as a developer, people would be looking up to you, either reframing the existing contracts or assisting with additional funding, or what? How you are going to support the industry in this step towards mechanization?
I would put it this way. My take would be, to begin with, is that I think mechanization is nothing but the state of mind. Mechanization does not mean that you have to begin with capital investment. I will give you a simple example. India produces more than 300 million tons of cement annually. Out of that, some ballpark indications are that close to 50 million tons of cement is used for plastering alone. Now, it is anybody's guess why we do so much of plastering. Now, if we just look inward, and if we are using good quality formwork systems, if we are using good quality concrete, if you are doing good construction practices, I see no reason that why we cannot get form finish or fair finish, what they call, without any plastering. In fact, the classic example in Bangalore is next to Vidhan Soda, that Indian Express building, that public, the government building, which has been done 40 years back, there is no plastering. It's a fair finish concrete. So my definition of mechanization is that within your existing framework also, you can do a lot of mechanization. Somebody was talking about cut and bend machines. Now, these machines are not very expensive. You can have all your cutting and bending of reinforcement through these small machines. So mechanization does not mean that you have to have a huge, large capital investment like a precast plant which we are operating, which is close to say 30-50 crores of investment. But you don't need that. You can take small steps. So I think my suggestion to construction fraternity and all the engineers over there is that it's a state of mind. Start thinking that in your day-to-day activity, how you can mechanize certain things. Things like, the surveying instruments. What stops us from using the state-of-the-art surveying instruments? Nothing. So you can take those small baby steps and move forward. And as you move forward, then you will realize that what is the best investment where you will get the return on investment and accordingly move forward. But I think there is a lot of scope in Indian construction industry to mechanize from a small baby step to a large step.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I think my next question is to Dr. Aswath. Aswath sir, are you there? I cannot see you on the. I have an interesting question from Dr. Revati from Pondicherry, Revati Krishna Kumar. She says that, what are these changes? Are they going to have any impact on the academic side with regard to managing post-COVID construction? What is expected from the academic side? You being in the thick of things, Doctor, can you tell us, tell the audience this particular thing on what challenges you see from the academic side?
Like construction industry facing the working on the working environment, the social distancing, that will come into effect for education sector also until this is completely resolved. This issue is completely resolved. Conducting the classes, the distance between the students and number of students in a desk, whether it is conduction of examinations, all these things will be a major issue. All those things should be taken and it should be handled by all the educational institutions very effectively. As far as teaching is also concerned, we have not been explored, even though we say a lot of teaching methodologies are available, and we are not exposed or implemented in many of the universities and the institutions, the online platforms, because majority of the teachers are not exposed, except a few freshers. The old faculty, they never used to get into the aspect of online teaching. Now, we are getting used to it. We are getting adjusted to it. Say, for example, in my college, we have about close to 300 faculty, and all of them are now handling the students, engaging them through online platforms. There are more than 20 platforms available. Many of them are free now, and they're conducting classes online and engaging the students online, and many of the faculty are recording their lectures and uploading it to the YouTubes. So the resources are available. It is only we were talking that the faculty should facilitate the students because the resources are available. When we were learning, we used to do a lot of check and talk, and we used to dictate notes in the classrooms. Now that problem is not there. You take up any topic, lot of resource material is available. We only facilitate the students how to get these available material, and how to learn. So more of practical oriented teaching learning systems will come into picture and facilitated. Already we were thinking conduction of labs is very difficult online. There are a lot of now virtual laboratories available, which can be students can learn through these virtual laboratories better than doing it in the lab. So a lot of simulations and animations are coming in, and I think these technological tools that are available will definitely help the teaching community, and I think it will go a long way. And this crisis has made all the professionals in the education sector, not only in education sector, many professions to learn and adopt these tools and effectively use this. because I think it will also solve many of our societal problems, because as we civil engineers, we are responsible for the health safety of our civil society. We are directly connected to the civil society, and you take up any profession, we are connected, and we, by using these tools, because artificial intelligence, many of us, we don't even give importance. We are not using artificial intelligence in our civil engineering industry. So all these new developments, the machine learning, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, these things will be used more effectively in all the sectors, including the education sector, and the physical interaction will reduce, and more of mentorship and assistantship will be there, and only guidance will be there, and our youngsters are also very intelligent these days. They can learn, they need the direction. I think our job will become in future only giving them direction and enrolling them wherever it is required. It is not necessary to go in the formal way of education methods, teaching methods. I think all of us will learn this as the necessity arises. Even in civil engineering, a lot of artificial intelligence will come into play a major role. We're talking about construction industry, it is only building structures. Mechanization is not just the machinery, the cranes and other things, or something like that. Mechanization will be 90% of the mechanization should happen inside the office. Use artificial intelligence. Rajpillai was also mentioning about the surveying techniques, all those things, the latest tools. So do everything at office or within the factory, and just take care of the on-site jobs to a minimum level. So that's where the freshers and the coming engineering system, education system, will be directed towards. So we'll be teaching civil engineers on artificial intelligence, how to handle. We will be teaching Internet of Things to civil engineers, how to effectively utilize in bringing out. So completion of the project from foundation to the finish will be reduced, and hence the physical interaction will reduce. So majority of things will happen inside.
Thank you.
The
Thank you,
education
sir.
system is not different. It will also have a lot of changes.
Okay. I got your point. The only thing is, I think the underlying principle is, change is the constant, and you need to be prepared for a change. I think we have time for two more questions to all three of you. It's a common question running through many of the panelists, the attendees. One is they are asking, this is my first question, which I'm compiling from them. Is there going to be a lot of cross-skilling? Mr. Girish is one who's asked such question. Mr. Labh Singh is another one who's asked. See, they are asking about whether this is going to lead to a lot of reskilling in the industry. And second one, is there going to be a lot of job losses? This is what they're expecting. They're expecting some job losses in the industry. How would Mr. Shashidhar and Mr. Rajpillai react to this? That especially, the sales are supposed to be sluggish, and going forward, the outlook for development industry is not so positive. What is your take on this, sir? Cross-skilling, job losses, and the future.
Can I answer?
Yeah,
please,
Shashidhar, sir.
One is regarding the jobs. Yes, there may be some 10 to 20% trimming down in the jobs based on how the works, whatever we are doing now, will be taken up post-COVID. Because some projects, if they are stalled or something like this, if there is a new project, but our intention is to somehow retain and retain the work. But still, maybe 10 to 20% may happen. But right now, it is very difficult to tell, but this is just a forecast. Number one.
Okay.
Cross-skilling was the other thing what you asked.
Correct. A lot of audience.
Yes. Cross-skilling means That is the new skills what are required for mechanization. That's what you are asking. Yes. The regular skills for conventional constructions are reducing. And the new skills what are required for mechanization. That is to work with a pre-engineered building or a precast building, like with our slip form, this one. Already people are there at some projects, but that has to be increased. And this, as it is, this is diminishing. Conventional shuttering, conventional bar bending, laying of concrete by keeping mixer and labor, all that has almost gone. So gradually, when mechanization happens, this skill is not much a challenge because the other side also picks up slowly, and this goes on diminishing.
Thank you, sir. What about you, sir, Mr. Raj Pillai? What is your take on that? I think cross-skilling.
Yeah.
I think
it
is.
Yeah, I think this is a very, very, very important question, and I'm happy and delighted that somebody has asked this question. I think, in my view, I would say, whether you call it cross-skilling, whether you call it multi-skilling, whether you call it upgrading of your skill and knowledge, I think way forward, this is going to be the most essential and important criteria for not only protecting your job, it will be the sole criteria for moving upward in your professional career. See, I would like to add here, unlike many overseas countries where they have this continuous professional development scheme where a professional engineer has to have certain credits by attending courses, etc., and then only they are entitled to retain their membership or even their professional expertise. So the way the whole thing is dynamic, the way the whole industry will be changing, evolving, whether COVID is one reason, but in minus COVID also, if you see in the last 10 years how the construction industry has changed, I think my advice to all the professionals over there is, please update your knowledge, your skill, whether you call it multi-skilling or you call it cross-skilling, but you cannot remain, and I repeat, you cannot remain jacketed that this is what I was doing and I will continue doing that. You have to upgrade, and that will be the only survival kit you will have.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Aswath, there are also concerns from Mr. Uday Singh Patil and quite a few others on do you see this job losses in the teaching fraternity, the faculty, with a lot of online teaching and other things developing? They're asking that, what is your take on that? Would you be seeing would you expect a lot of job losses in your industry?
Yeah, this question of job loss is there from many times, not only because of this COVID-19 crisis, but before that also. Whenever the new technology comes up, because when IT came in, people are talking about there will be a lot of job losses in the conventional industry, but it is not so. So the new technologies or new issues will create, in fact, more number of jobs. If we say, for example, civil engineering, now the conventional method of doing our activities will reduce. We have to shift it to the new method of working. So that will require a lot of other skills. So the number of jobs will not change, it will remain as it is. But if you are stick to only what you know, and if you are not ready to change your attitude and learn and adjust to the new system, then you will have a loss of job. So if you are ready to learn the new requirement and due to the present crisis, then there is no loss of job. So I think we need to change our mindset and learn the new skills required at this point of time. And this period, slack period, maybe we can use to upgrade our skills in the new requirement for the new requirements. And one more thing I would like to add at this point of time is now during this crisis, now we are talking about after effects of COVID-19. So there are a lot of things to be done during this period also. I think we should extend our support to all our needy people in the industry, especially the migrant workforce, all the consultants and the builders and others. We should support the government wherever it is possible, and we should come out with a new system. We don't have a framework. For example, handling this migrant workers became a major issue due to this. That is because we don't have a system of handling. We don't have a registry of all the migrant workers. So there is no policy. I think this period of time we should spend, and maybe some collaborative efforts are required to get some system into place so that will be effectively and all these things. And regarding the managing the workforce, yesterday I was listening to Guru, there will be adjustment of salary structures and all those things. So apart from that, what I've seen in other countries, some of the other countries, the government has given a lot of packages to handle the salary part of the wages part of the employees, and we don't have any such system. Maybe we should come out collectively some system so that the needy people, the workforce are taken care. Suppose if it is extended for some more period of time, we need to come together and support the government and legal bodies to handle this issue effectively. Otherwise, we will be blamed if it is not handled properly. Government alone cannot do everything, and all the professional bodies and professionals, a majority, the consultants and the builders should come together and plan something, some system to handle such issues in future also. Maybe because of natural disasters or something else. So we should have a proper system to engage our stakeholders.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. And what about a follow-up question to you on what is the action that ICI and ACCE or Instruct can take to make this cross-skilling initiative? Is there any structured approach from ICI and ACCE to address this issue? You know, this is a serious concern. Many of them are asking, you know, look here, my jobs are at stake and I don't know what to do. There are cross-industry things like IEI, etc. So how do we reach out to them? Is there any plan or is there any strategy by ICI or ACCE to address this cross-skilling, sir? Since you are in a leadership position in these institutions, I thought you are the best person to throw some light on this. Can you share us any roadmap or anything, sir?
There are many.
Dr.
There are many professional bodies managing these kind of issues whenever there is a crisis very effectively. For example, you take a smaller level at FKCCI or NASCOM or CII. So they're all managing the professional associations of chartered accountants. They're managing very effectively because they have a constitutional bill. But engineers don't have a proper engineers bill. So there is an Engineering Council of India working on this. Now it is also jointly worked with the All India Council of AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education, but this bill has not come to a final shape. I think all of us should come together, all the Builders Association, ICI, ACCE, all our professional bodies connected to civil engineering, we should come together and work for the engineers bill. That will be the right approach. But ACCE is doing a lot of work from long time, but it has come to a final stage where it is in the final draft stage, and all of us should collectively work, form a forum, and do this. That I think the ACCE will take a lead in this, and in the days will approach all the major consultants and major builders. Please join hands. We'll represent to the government and do some activity in this direction.
Thank you, sir.
Thank ICI, you 42 centers across the country with 13,000 plus members. ACC has got more than 16 centers with more than 5,000 members. So all of us come together and we should do something. Even the COVID-19 situation, many of our members at the centers levels, they are joined hands with the local bodies, local government organizations, and doing a lot of work to handle this COVID-19 situation. Lot of so the CSR activity our association members are doing in this moment of requirement.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words. I think to roll up the discussion, I think one last word, quick ones from Mr. Shashidhar, Mr. Rajpillai. I think
Right.
it's been a wonderful program. We could understand a lot of things, get some valuable insight on how the industry is coping up with this situation. I request closing remarks from Mr. Shashidhar, Rajpillai sir, and Dr. Manjunath, Dr. Aswath. Thank you, sir.
This main
Closing
program,
remarks.
the main program was the challenges we are facing post-COVID in construction. One, regarding labor, we have discussed extensively. Alternative construction methods we have discussed. Main thing is now, since February, our cash flow has gone dry. Main thing is the finance to be arranged and the cash flow has to be regained to start off with all the works and this one. So for this, as a contractor with the client and down with our sub-vendors, all of us should work as a team and try to support each other in this hard situation. Because February bills are not certified, March bills are not raised, April absolutely no work. So 3 months of dry season we have suffered. So that is one biggest challenge. And the other one is supply of regular materials to be streamlined. Because we are facing lot of problem since all our crushers and stone industry depend on Tamil Nadu labor who have not returned. I don't know for RMC plants whether they are getting aggregates. Similarly, blocks, bricks, all these depend on Tamil Nadu labor who have not yet come back. So clearances are given, but lot of hookups are there, or bottlenecks are there, which we are trying to solve every day, but we have to look forward. Because available labor
Thank you, sir.
may work another 3 days, after that there will be no material at site. But cement and steel, as of now, they are telling from today they will be able to supply. We are hoping so. So supply of materials, finance, labor management. These are the 3 key things. All the other future we have discussed. But presently, to come back into the groove, these are the 3 critical things.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Luckily for us, I think 2 of your questions can be answered right here. Our good friend Mr. Rajpillai is here on representing the developers inside, the money bags inside, and Dr. Manjunath is there, taking care of the interests of the supplier. If they both decide to be generous, perhaps most of your problems could be solved. So, Mr. Rajpillai and Dr. Manjunath, your take on that.
Sir, I am an optimist by nature, and I always see the glass as half full than half empty. I mean, I would begin with that. As I started in the beginning, I would say in the short term and the medium term, the definition of short term could be 3 months, could be 6 months. It's going to be painful. It will be like, as I mentioned before also, it will be like the Samudra Manthan in the ancient times, where the Amrit and Vish will be coming out. If you are fortunate, you will get Amrit. If you are unfortunate, you will get Vish. It will all boil down to your inbuilt mechanism of immunity, your inbuilt strength. So if you have that, you will survive. But as I said, I am of the firm belief that the future of construction of globally belongs to India, and it will happen here. My only concern is and advice is that when that happens, it could be 2021, it could be 2022, I don't know, but it will happen. I'm sure in our lifetime, definitely we will see it happening. But my word of caution and advice to everybody over there is, are you ready when it happens? Would you have the skill set? Would you have the knowledge to be a party of that pot of Amrit which will be coming out. I would only say that, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Manjunath,
Yeah,
are you going to be, is your
Engineer
company?
Madhukar, yeah. No, I'm not talking about company now. The availability of cement, DGBS and aggregates already started. Cement is available, and other cementitious products also arriving in Karnataka. Since I belong to JSW, we have a plant in Karnataka where its plants are operational. We are able to supply a lot of material to the construction industry, especially in North Karnataka. So other cement companies are also started delivering the material now. So in next 2-3 days, the material will be available. Should not be a problem. I assure Engineer Rajpile and Shashidhar and the construction industry fraternity, don't worry about the cementitious products like GGBS or cement or maybe sand also. It's available. And looking at overall picture, the lockdown issues and social distancing will continue, and we need to evolve a solution where we can fully implement the execution of the projects, like using artificial intelligence, mechanization, and other things. So, Indian Concrete Institute is coming out with a seminar on alternative materials and technology. February 11th and 12th at Niemann's Convention Center. So we are talking about alternative materials and alternative technologies. So I think the industry should make use of this opportunity to participate actively in this seminar. Thank you.
Dr. Aswath, your closing remarks, sir.
Well, my closing remarks is nothing will happen. It is only a pastime, and to handle the current situation, as Shashidhar was mentioning, the small-time players will have a problem of cash flow and other things and resource management. And at this time, the secret for the success is not intelligence, not any strategy, big strategy, not tactics, but it is only a management of logistics. I think all of us together should manage the logistics collectively. If something is available with a major player, sparing that for a small timers, those kind of logistic arrangements can be done in the next 6 months. I think PMCs will have a major load. If you are handling 3-4 projects, and sharing the resources among everybody effectively will be the major requirement. I think logistics resource management is the key for coming out of this situation for the next 6 months. As Shashidhar was mentioning and Pillai was mentioning, I think I'm very positive nothing will happen. And 2021, by that time, will be back with a boom. And definitely infrastructure, there will be uptrend in
Audio. Thank you. There is an audio break.
Madhukar, like another 1 minute is there. I think we have a secretary from ICI, Sir Arel Ramesh.
On behalf
from my side.
Thank you.
Over to Madhukar.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The last minute was cut off, but we are running out of short of time. I would like to thank the audience who've been wonderful in their feedback, not only asking questions and also making relevant comments and suggestions for improvement. A lot of them were concerned on the job losses and all that, which is quite right. At this point of time, their concerns are valid, and I think the panelists did wonderful justice to their role, and they could come out with very frank and open opinion about these challenges, and they've also come up with solutions in many places. So I with an optimistic note, as Raj Pillai sir said, glass is half full. I would like to close up this talk. I would be thanking all the panelists. And also, Mr. Ramesh, I request Mr. Dr. Ramesh to take over and propose the honors. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Ramesh.
I think he's not able to join. So, Indian Concrete Institute, Bangalore Center. Always we are pioneers in launching any innovative ideas. We are the first center to launch this webinar session, taking the input from all the people. I thank Engineer Raj Pillai, Engineer Shashidhar sir, and Dr. Aswath for joining for this wonderful webinar session. And I thank Engineer Madhukar for wonderfully conducting these programs. I say Bangalore Center going forward, we'll going to have many more webinars now, and this is going to be the additional future. Apart from the direct programs, we continue to host many webinars on relevant topics and all. So I request all the attendees to please start attending our next webinars. We'll come up with new different topics, different subjects, different issues concerning the construction industry, not only on the COVID issues, but many technological things we are going to start. So I thank everybody, the attendees, the panelists, and the moderator, everybody, for giving this wonderful support to conduct our first